This is KCTV English News. I'm Nick Brontes. Discussions on reorganizing the island's administrative system will resume after years of failing to reach a conclusion on the issue. The provincial government will reactivate its Administrative Reorganization Committee Thursday the 20th and draw up an operational roadmap for the group. The province will revise the Jeju special law next year in accordance with the national government's comprehensive decentralization plan. Provincial officials say changes to local administration must be discussed alongside that process. At a recent question and answer session at the Provincial Council, Governor Won Hee-ryong said that the new administrative model for the island will be based on sufficient input from the public. The National Assembly is now discussing an amendment to the April 3rd Incident Special Law. The proposed changes cover issues such as compensation for incident victims and their families, as well as the invalidation of military court verdicts from that period. During a Tuesday meeting, the Public Administration and Security Committee's Bill Screening Subcommittee discussed the scale of victim compensation with representatives from the Ministry of Economy and Finance. Attendees decided to come up with an alternative plan before their next meeting. Democratic Party floor leader Hong Young-pyo said Thursday he would try to pass an amendment to the April 3rd Incident Special Law during the current regular session of the Assembly. He said he would pursue that goal through negotiations with the opposition, even if that means putting off action on other proposals. Over 200,000 people are expected to visit the island over the Chuseok holidays. The Provincial Tourism Association says the crush of arrivals will begin September 22nd with some 45,000 tourists and people coming home for the holidays. The total will near 206,000 by the 26th, the last day of the holidays. Most of the visitors, over 188,000, will arrive by plane. Airlines will operate 1,100 Jeju flights over the period. That includes regularly scheduled flights and special holiday flights. The remaining 17,000 plus visitors will come by ship. There will be about 30 ferry sailings. The vessels will bring people from Mokpo, Wando, Yeosu, and elsewhere in the country. The Jeju City population is forecast to top 500,000 by the end of the month. According to a provincial government census, the city's population was about 498,700 last month. That's 695 more than in July. So, if the population keeps growing at the same pace, it will top 500,000 by the end of September. On the south side of the island, 189,800 people were living in Seogwipo last month. That total is expected to surpass 190,000 this month. It's time again for Film Focus. Here's Mike Laidman with what's new in local theaters.
It's quite interesting how there are often a handful of movies that come out together, all in the same style. I mean, we are sort of coming up on Halloween, though, so it really shouldn't be too big of a surprise to have a couple of horror thrillers opening up. They need to get a jump on the big day after. This week, it's The Predator. Yes, that Predator. As if you needed another reason to get yourself to the theater to sink your teeth into some 80s nostalgia brought alive, well, into the modern era. Next, it's Inside, a creepy little flick that will leave a lot of people squirming in their seats. At least, that's what those remaking the 2007 French original want. So, welcome to another edition of Film Focus. I'm Mike Laidman. From the outer reaches of space to the small-town streets of suburbia, the hunt comes home with this explosive reinvention of the Predator series. Now, the universe's most lethal hunters are stronger, smarter, and deadlier than ever before, having genetically upgraded themselves with DNA from other species. When a young boy accidentally triggers their return to Earth, only a ragtag crew of ex-soldiers and a disgruntled science teacher can prevent the end of the human race. It's smug, full of gore, and has its fair share of throwaway one-liners. But there's still enough meat here to charm those who are familiar with the series. It pushes forward at a relentless pace, but that's no bad thing. If, however, you were looking for it to deviate largely from the 1987 original, you will be disappointed. It's still stuffed full to the brim with tough guy machismo.
So what are we going to name her?
Young mother-to-be Sarah is trying to rebuild her broken life. Recently widowed in a shattering car crash that left her partially deaf, with her baby's birth uncomfortably long overdue and alone, unpacking in unfamiliar surroundings, having just returned home. She can only just stay afloat. As night descends on her deserted suburban street, there's an unexpected arrival at the doorstep. Sarah receives a most unwelcome visitor. Alone and carrying her baby, Sarah faces a calculating, cold-hearted, and predatory woman, an adversary who will stop at nothing to snatch her unborn child. Trapped and disoriented, barely able to hear the evil that stalks her, Sarah must unleash all her reserves of strength to protect her baby and survive the night. It's too bad that this remake just can't stand up to the original. Why? Well, it simply just isn't extreme enough. And what's the point of making a less extreme version of a movie whose raison d'etre was extremity? So just pop some corn and check out the 2007 original at home.
Q80 Natural Park is hosting a festival based on colorful pink muli, a type of ornamental grass with vibrant pink tails. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies and moderate winds all day Saturday. For more, here's your forecast. The morning low in Jeju City will be 24 and the afternoon high 29 degrees. In Seogwipo, temperatures will fall between 24 and 28. In Seongsan, the low before lunch will be 23 and the high later on, again, 28 degrees. Similar temperatures are expected across the island in Gosan. And the morning low up on the mountain at Songpanak will be 19. In the afternoon high, 24 degrees. Out on the water, winds will be out of the southwest and west at 9 to 13 meters per second, and seas will be between 1.5 and 2.5 meters. And here's a look ahead into next week. That brings us to the end of today's newscast. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll tune in next time. Until then, find us online at eng.kctvjeju.com. 시청자 여러분, 고맙습니다.